Hi, I'm Mike Donaldson.
I'm Jake.
We are 2/3 of the Pangoliers, and we'd just like to take a quick second and talk about some of the gear we've got. Recently picked up this Squier 6-string bass, and I was noticing there weren't a lot of reviews of it, so I thought people might be interested in knowing how a sub $400 6-string does. So I thought we'd take a chance and review it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the specs on this bass. What do we got here?
It is a traditional Squier Affinity jazz bass outlook. So typical controls for a jazz bass, 2 single coil pickups, voice like a Squier Affinity, nothing special about that. No idea what the body's made of. Maple neck, 6-string. What's that, 20 frets? I didn't count, not enough. But yeah, overall, it does just fine.
Nice. And you've got a couple of guitars with extended string ranges.
I do like my extended range basses. I typically play a 5-string. I wanted a 6-string, so I was down at Ted Brown Music in Richland, Washington, and was looking at all the basses they had there, and I saw this one, and it's like, oh, Squier 6-string. So I thought I'd check it out and started playing it. So I realized, like, this is actually a lot of fun. I really enjoy the 6-string. So for under 400, I was like, I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. So I picked it up. It is, I changed out the pick guard. I didn't like the black on black, so I made a new pick guard for it, since nobody makes aftermarket stuff for this bass yet. Made a new pick guard that suits my tastes better. But other than that, it's 100% stock. I've done no setup. I haven't changed, not even the strings. So it's 100% stock other than the pick guard. And we've played this at 1 gig. I think I played it at 1 gig. I play it a lot at home and really enjoy playing it. But I wanted to basically show right from the store, brand new bass, 0 setup, didn't change anything, and I was able to gig with it and it did just fine.
Can we talk about it from top down?
Sure.
I think the most important part about a good instrument when you're going to a lower end is what you're giving up on the tuning stability. How are the tuners for you? How do they feel?
Tuners aren't bad. I have no issues with them. They do the thing. They look good. They work well. I haven't had any problems with them. It's easy to tune, which isn't the case for all the basses that I have. So yeah, they do fine.
How about neck? One of the things I always worry about is neck sprout and out of level frets.
There's no fret buzz. Everything is fine. The frets feel great up to the 12th fret. After the 12th fret, these upper frets, they definitely have some sharp edges, and they will need to I'll need to do some fret work on those. I'll need to polish them and kind of round these off a little bit. So I like to play up here a lot, and I can definitely tell that it needs some work up there. I haven't done it yet. We'll shoot another video of doing the full setup and changing all this stuff to show you how easy it is. But frets are great up to the 12th fret. Beyond that, they need some work. So if you're a beginner, brand new, first of all, if you're a brand new bass player, don't buy a 6-string. Not a good place to start. Just get a 4-string, better place to start. But if you want to just get into your first 6-string and you find yourself playing mostly under the 12th fret, you won't have any issues, but these upper frets are a little bit challenging.
Now we already heard how the pickups sound. How do you feel? How is it feeling in engaging with the pickups for you?
Yeah, no problem. Being perfectly blunt, there's not that big of a difference between cheap pickups and nice pickups on the bass. There's a big difference between single coils and humbuckers, active and passive. I have a couple active basses, I have a lot of passive basses, but I've swapped out. I have another Squier Affinity bass that's just off camera right there. That one I've swapped out all the electronics in it, and honestly it didn't really make any difference. The pots are nicer. I definitely recommend upgrading the pots to nicer pots, but as far as the pickups go, it sounds exactly the same as it did before.
Now this is an Affinity as well. This is an Affinity line? Okay, awesome.
One of the big differences though, I noticed when I took the pick guard off to swap out this one, the other Affinity that I have has the routing channel from the neck pickup into the cavity, which means you have to have a pick guard on it. This bass does not. the pickup is routed, but there's no gaps. You actually could run this without a pick guard, and it's pure painted. So if you wanted to run it without a pick guard to go with a really clean look, you can do it on this, whereas with the other Affinity that I have, you couldn't.
And you love your chunky bridges, right? You like a nice bridge.
This is a classic Fender style barrel bridge. It's not particularly heavy, but again, it does the thing. I haven't had any issues with it. Tuning stability has been fine. It's comfortable. No sharp edges or anything on that. It's great. The one good thing is based on the color of the ends, it looks like they are using D'Addario strings, which is the only reason I haven't changed them yet, because they're already acceptable.
Ernie Ball all the way.
But they're definitely cheap strings, which you would expect from a factory base, but I will be swapping those out with D'Addario NYXLs when we do that.
Nice. Any other last thoughts? Gigging with it, how's that?
Gigging with it's fine. If you're switching to a 6-string bass or don't have a lot of experience with the 6-string, the biggest challenge is muting. As you're playing is preventing the string. There's a lot more strings to manage, and there's a lot wider area to manage. So you just have to really be cognizant of your string muting so that you're not letting strings run out. But to control that, I do use the I don't know what this is called.
Mute thingy?
Little mute thingy. I only have it on about halfway over the nut. It just helps with a little bit of the overtones, but it does help, particularly with the B, prevent that from ringing out. But yeah, overall it's good. Yeah. As far as the neck dive goes, it does have a little bit of neck dive. So that is something to be aware of, is just all the tuning mass up here. It's a fairly lightweight body. I don't know what it's made of, but it's not super heavy. The whole bass only weighs just under 10 pounds. So for a 6-string, it's actually pretty light. So it does have a little bit of neck dive. It really wasn't a problem gigging. Didn't have any issues with that. But just something to be aware of.
My guess is poplar. That's what a lot of these. This one's the Strat version of, I think, exactly the same thing this one is.
Looking on the back, it is 6 screws holding the neck on. So nice.
I would imagine it being heavy. It's nice to hear that it's not hurting your back.
It's not bad. I have other basses I have some 5-strings that are heavier than this. So,
can you tell us about the controls that it's got, the electronics?
Standard jazz controls. You have neck volume, bridge volume, then universal tone.
Awesome. Can you show us how that works? Give us some sound samples on that.
So here's tone all the way up, neck pickup all the way off, just the bridge. Hold on, let me, my typical, I always run with chorus on, so I'll just turn that off so you can hear that. Then here's just neck, no bridge. Just neck with the tone all the way off. Just bridge with the tone all the way off. And then the way that I normally run is neck all the way up, bridge at about 70, between 50 and 70%. Tone all the way up. So depending on how I'm using the bass is kind of how I will EQ it on the amp. This is kind of more like the gigging EQ that I would use with this, which is basically everything at noon. Bass, treble, and mids all at noon. I'm running through an Ampeg Rocket Bass and RB210. And on my pedal board, the only thing I have on right now is the compressor. I'm running a Boss compression pedal. And this is kind of how I run it. If I'm using this but I'm playing by myself at home, I EQ it differently. So I'll show you that now. I usually just turn the treble up and turn the bass way down. actually have a little bit, it kind of tames the boomy end on the bass and allows you to.
That sounds awesome. And you're using an Ampeg. What amp are you using in this?
It's the Ampeg RB210.
Yeah.
So it's a 500 watt, two 10-inch. Like the 10-inch, when I was a teenager, I was all about the bigger speakers. I was like, I want 18s and just huge rumble, shake your house down. As I've gotten older and actually like to hear the individual notes that I'm playing, I love 10-inch drivers for bass. So right now, RB210 with an extension cabinet, so I'm running, it's 500 watt, 410.
Yeah, and that combo, it sounds really crisp, and it sounds really good in a mix. I can say in our band mix, it sounded fantastic. You can kind of get a lot more of the bass than sometimes when we approach too much towards each other, kind of smushes. So
yeah, I EQ it when we're playing with the gig. I try to sit, because we're a three-piece set, so it's just guitar, vocals from Jake, me on bass, and then we have John on drums. And so the space that I try to occupy is the bottom end, and then I kind of creep up into the mid-range a bit to let you kind of fill the top end of the mid-range, and then with the vocals. So I like to be really bright, and so I tend to EQ, bring in a little bit of treble, bring the bass down just a little bit, so I'm kind of filling in that bottom space, but kind of articulating so I can play kind of counter harmonies and things to fill in that rhythm guitar world. Whereas if we had a rhythm guitarist, I would drop the treble out and I would drop it and live entirely in the bottom.
all right, so you've given us the bass. Tell us your overall impressions. Would you buy it again? Do you recommend it for someone looking for a first-time bass? And what was the cost on it, by the way? I don't know if we already went over that.
It was about $350 brand new. As far as value, absolutely worth every penny of that. It's an excellent instrument for the money. We'll show you in another video putting some time into actually doing the full setup on this, swapping out the strings, polishing and leveling the frets, just kind of tweaking some stuff, and getting it into a much better playable position. But as it is right now, again, I gig with it as it sits. No problems with that whatsoever. It's worth every penny. It's a fantastic instrument. And if you're just looking to kind of dip your toes into the world of a 6-string bass, this is a great place to start.
Okay. Thank you.